My people, what I do? We back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. My name is Chief.
And I'm Bell.
I'm Prentice.
We about to get the ball rolling. What's crazy is I say my people and I do it every episode and it's catchy. Bell hit me up like somebody emailed us was like, our people. It's like, yeah, they catching that joint, man. Now, man.
I was hating.
He was hating. It be your own people, yo. It be your own people. Yo, so P, I tagged you in this joint on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it yet, but I shared what you posted, obviously.
Yeah.
Lady, I gotta read it so you hear what it says, and I was confused. So I tagged you in it, but Bell, I don't know if you saw it, but it was a post of a lady holding a sign that said, "Nobody told your scary ass to be a cop." Right?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So the lady commented, and she says, "No one told you, Melinda, to call a cop when you need help or call 911." And I was like, I didn't really understand it. So
wait, say that again. No one
told you, Melinda's, to call a cop when you need help or call 911.
Melinda's.
So apparently, the girl is like, Melinda's is the Karen's version of Karen.
For what? Hispanic or
For
black?
black people. Like, instead of Karen, it's Melinda. I'm just, it was my first time
I don't
seeing
know one black person named Melinda.
So
I think Spanish people named Melinda.
I respond, I'm like, huh? And then the lady responds like, Chief, apparently she feels some type of way. We're Melinda since they're Karens. Big difference. We call the police on guilty people, not innocent. I'm like, oh, that's what that was supposed to mean? Like, I didn't know
we call the police on guilty people, not innocent.
She's talking about I don't know. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of mad we just gave her that platform.
Well, I don't either. She don't have a name, but my thing is, I didn't know. I said it because I didn't know we were Melindas. I'd never heard that. Did y'all hear that?
It don't even make sense, but I'm not holding that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. I'm just checking. Nevertheless, that's the topic of today. Stop fucking killing us. Plain and simple. So, my man Thuggy, white dude, real real supportive of the people, ally type dude. He said, breaking news. We're gonna pause the trial of the Minnesota police officer who killed an unarmed black man in broad daylight to bring you a story of a Minnesota police officer who killed an unarmed black man in broad daylight. And I'm just like, that's fucked up.
Yo, two things. One, I think we should do our check-in like we always do, pre-episode. But the crazy thing is, yo, this always comes in pockets for us, right? It's always like, it's not like one incident, and not that this would make it any better, but it's not like one incident and then the next incident that happens with us is a year from now. It's always back to back. You know what I'm saying?
It's the beginning of the summer too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, man, it was the young man in Minnesota, and then it was the guy in Virginia, the lieutenant. You know what I'm saying? Which
got pepper sprayed or whatever.
Yeah, which I didn't realize that was in December. And obviously, just like Ahmaud Arbery, when that came out, like that wasn't right then. It was months prior. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that to me, man. It's like that's the part that gets me. It's like it's almost like if you ever see something again, your instinct is to expect something to follow. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like that other shooter drop. You know what I mean?
Right. So before we get into it, because I'm already starting to get mad. I feel it coming. So let's go ahead. Back to the top. Bell.
Oh, he started moving his fingers.
Yeah, I'm feeling that shit tingling. My fingers tingling. You want to ball up, slap it up, punch somebody. Anyways, Bell head, check in, baby. What's going on?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. So things are fine. With me in general, but this with everything that's going on, man, that it kind of got to me today, because I like everything. It got to me yesterday. But knowing we were gonna record tonight, it started resonating a little bit more as well. But to me, man, it's like I'm at the point where I can't watch it. Like I can't watch it. Like I don't know, but I heard there was video of the shooting in Minnesota, and I don't know, but that's what I heard. But I refused to watch it, dude. I didn't even read the full article, if I'm being 100% honest. because I'm just tired of it. And then like the lieutenant, man, D.L. Hewley, was it D.L. Hewley? I'm pretty sure it was D.L. Hewley. Put that meme up of Cap kneeling. And he's like, if this is disrespecting the military, and then below that was the picture of I believe the guy's name is Karen, being pepper sprayed. He said, if this is disrespecting the military, then what is this? Right? And that shit like floored me. Like, I'm like, wow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like when I saw it, I don't even comment on Instagram, but I commented on that. And I was like, that's the meme of the year, unfortunately. You know? So that's kind of where I'm at, man. I'm still not really processing it intentionally, just like I did with the whole Black Lives Matter movement with George Floyd and all that. I purposely put them away, them feelings. That's me though.
Let's switch up the rhythm, man. You go. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. My kids are happy. My kids are healthy. I don't really have too much on my spirit right now, man.
Capture the objective.
Navigating through some stuff that I don't want to share right now with the podcast, but I definitely want to talk to y'all about it afterwards. I talked to Bell about it a little earlier today, but your boy was really super angry today. Steaming angry. And I know I probably I'm curious now, but it's not something I want to share. So we talk through it amongst ourselves.
A lockdown.
For sure.
Overall, I'm good, man. My kids are happy and healthy, smiling. It's a beautiful thing.
Word, man.
Prentice?
Enemy took B.
Hey, man.
8 days overdue.
But we.
Pipeline established overhead.
Hey everyone, I'm your host Brandon Kyle Goodman, and welcome to Black Folks. On this show, I have the honor and the privilege of talking to Black people of various identities about our lives and how being Black has shaped our experiences. This week, I had the pleasure of speaking to the award-winning actress and singer Riley, who you might also know as Amber Riley. Now, you know her from her breakout role as Mercedes Jones in Glee on Fox. Remember that show? That was my favorite. She also proved she could easily dance circles around competition when she won season 17 of Dancing with the Stars. You better work, girl. And if that's not enough, in 2017, she won the Laurence Olivier Award for Best Actress in a Musical for her role in the West End debut of Dreamgirls, which you gotta YouTube her performance. It is sickening. Now, if you want more of Riley, she's about to hit your TV screen as she stars and executive produces a new NBC comedy series entitled Dream. Also, check out her amazing new EP, self-titled Riley, anywhere you listen to or download your music. Some of my favorite bops are BGE, Temporary, and A Moment. Oh, it's such a good EP. Now, usually I ask a little Black folks question and a big Black folks question, but Riley and I just jumped right in. Today, we talked about her journey in creating her new EP. We did a deep dive into our mental health journey, and we mused about how we as Black folks can encourage one another to take mental health seriously. Now, a bit of housekeeping. If you've been enjoying the podcast, honey, make sure you subscribe, rate, and comment, or tell somebody about us. And tell somebody about us. Do it all. Do it all. Okay, without any further ado, here's my conversation with the one and only Riley.
Losing C. Taking B. Losing Alpha.
Hi, Riley.
Hi.
How are you?
I am so good.
Yes.
As good as can be in the middle of a pandemic.
Let's talk. You always have to add like that little that qualification.
You know, because it's like, it's not my normal good, but you know, it's a special kind of good.
Yes, a special kind of good. And you look beautiful. I was saying to you, look, giving me this Janet Jackson. I'm just like in it.
A little 15-minute beat, you know.
Yeah. Yes, honey.
Didn't realize we were going to be on camera. Had to do something.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you. So, Riley, before we get in, because I could tell we're going to get in, so let me have you introduce yourself, starting with your pronouns, whatever you want us to know in this moment.
What's up, everybody? My name is Riley. You may also know me as Amber Riley. My pronouns are she and her. What do I want people to know?
Yeah,
I don't know.
now.
I guess you're gonna find out.
I guess you're gonna find out.
I've always been very private, but I find myself being more and more open now that like my music is out.
Yeah.
And sharing more. So I feel like every interview, people get to know me better and better and better. I'm like coming out of my shell.
I love that. And what was I mean, this is not the actual questions I'm gonna ask, but what was the journey of putting out your is it an EP?
It's an EP. Yeah,
what was the
it's
journey
an
of putting out the EP? Sorry, I'm so sorry.
It's cool.
Wait, well, let me ask you this. Help me, educate me. What is the difference between an EP and an album? Because I'm gonna just call everything an album. But what's the difference?
An EP is kind of like a prelude to your album, like kind of letting people know like what your album's gonna sound like without doing a full album. Basically, it's like let me test the waters a little bit before I put out a whole entire album, because albums are super expensive. So it's like an early kind of.
It's like an appetizer.
Listen.
It's the appetizer.
Yeah, it's they call it extended play. So
oh,
early listening.
Black folks, you're gonna learn something new all the time. Extended play, I had no idea. Yes. Yeah. So wait, what did it feel like to get it out? Because I've listened to it. I listened to it in the car. My husband knows that whenever I like an album or EP, I play it on loop. I'm one of those people that I don't change. I just
that way too. I'm totally that. I can listen to the same album that I like over and over.
Over and over and over and over. So yours is one of those that like I get in the car and I put it on loop, BGE, creep in, this moment, all of it. So what was it like to like get it out? Like what did it feel like once you had it out?
I mean, I can say that it was like exciting because I've been wanting to do that my whole life. But I had to get through a kind of like this mental journey, emotional journey. I had to do some maturing and I had to open myself up a little bit more, because the worst thing that you can do is put out music. Like as far as I'm concerned, especially when it comes to like, if it's R&B music, if it's country, there's certain genres where you're telling a story and there has to be truth to it, right?
Yes.
And because of that, I wanted to be able to be open and comfortable. And previously I would go into the studio and a lot of people are telling me who I am, telling me what my sound should be. I'm so confused because I'm like, well, that's not really that's not really me. So I'm recording it and everybody's like, oh, it sounds amazing. And I'm just like, I don't connect to it. Yeah. And I felt like if I'm not connecting to what it is and I'm writing, then the people that are listening to it, I feel like are going to catch on to that. And they're not going to connect to it either. So putting it out was like, hi, it's nice to meet everybody. Like,
yes.
This is me. Yes. That's why I self-titled it Riley. I didn't want people to be attached to what they thought they knew about me because of, Amber Riley, which is, it's me too. Like, that's also me. But I feel like Riley is a deeper me. It's a deeper introduction to who I am, how I was raised, where I am right now in my journey, and where I've been.
What inspired, like, was there a moment that you had?
Free for all.
Welcome to Soul Talk, soulful conversations exploring who you are, why you're here, and how to live your most authentic life. My name is Coop Blackson, nationally best-selling author of You Are the One, transformational teacher, and your host. I invite you to subscribe to the Soul Talk podcast for weekly inspiration from me, where I will share with you some powerful ideas, thoughts, and practical life wisdom to help you live life more fully, freeing yourself from your past, reclaiming your power, and living your true life's purpose. You can also go to www.coopblackson.com, enter your name and email to download my free 2-part video training series and learn the ultimate secrets to happiness and fulfillment. Let's get started with Soul Talk. Welcome back, folks, to another very special episode of the Soul Talk podcast. Today's episode is about how to make authentic decisions, and I'm going to teach you the 3 powerful keys to authentic decision making in every area of your life. Before we jump in case you don't know, my new book, The Magic of Surrender, is officially out now. If you haven't heard about it, if you didn't know it was out, I'm letting you know so that you can make a decision that I believe will truly transform and inspire you forward to living your highest destiny. I want to thank those of you that have been reviewing the book, sharing the book, starting book clubs, posting on social media. It means the world to me. Keep on. I appreciate you. You know who you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The Magic of Surrender, folks, available on Amazon, online, your local retailers. Go get the book. Promise you this, the best decision you've ever made. Decisions. This is the topic of today's podcast episode, folks. Your life is constantly rearranging and being determined by the decisions that you make moment to moment. If you want to know the decisions, if you want to know the future that you're going to experience tomorrow, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 30 years from now, simply look at the decisions that you're making in this moment, because it's the decisions that you're making in this moment that will come together to compound over time to impact and create your destiny. You don't have to be psychic, you don't have to be intuitive, you don't have to be an astrologer. Just look at the decisions you're making, financial, mental, emotional, and you will be able to, with a degree of accuracy, predict your future in specific areas. If you want to know the decisions that you made in your past, you just have to look at your present. Your present day today is a reflection of the compounded, consistent decisions you have made over the last 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years throughout your entire life. Decisions are the most powerful, one of the most powerful tools, the most powerful things that you can do. One of the most powerful things that you can take control over. Your decisions have the key, hold the key to unlock your destiny. Yet, sometimes when we think about making decisions, we get paralyzed, don't we? We get paralyzed, we procrastinate, we live in fear, we let fear hijack us from making decisions that we need to know. Maybe there's a decision that you need to make and you need to end a relationship. Maybe there's a decision you need to make and you need to start that business. Maybe there's a decision you need to make and you need to get that divorce and file the paperwork. Maybe there's a decision you need to make and you need to move. Maybe there's a decision you need to make and you need to take care of your finances or your health or a particular area of your life. What is the decision that you need to make in your life right now that perhaps you haven't? What are the decisions that you know that if you made could make a huge difference in your life, but perhaps you've been resisting? The quality of your life is in direct proportions to the decisions you make, and your life is determined by your decisions. One decision could literally shift the course of your life, the trajectory of your destiny. One decision has that power. On some level, you are one decision away from a new destiny. One decision away from a new destiny. And so, many times, we don't make decisions because we're afraid of the consequences. We don't make decisions because we're afraid of what other people will think. We don't make decisions and we end up living in fear. Fear hijacks us. And so Here's a couple of things. If you're in a situation and you're wondering, what should I do? Sometimes we're afraid of making decisions because we're afraid of making mistakes. Oh my God, I'm afraid to make a mistake. What if I make the wrong decision? I don't know what to do. So we live in fear. We overanalyze. Any over analytical folks here listening to today's conversation, you can analyze yourself to death, analysis paralysis. What if I do this? What if I do that? What if I don't do this? What if I don't? The thing is, if you just overanalyze and you don't decide, nothing will change. It's a false sense of safety. Nothing changes. We have to reframe, folks. What if you reframe this idea of making mistakes? You see, mistakes are simply a misperception, a misinterpretation from the ego. The ego judges from its limited perspective, with limited identity. It judges a situation as right, wrong, good, bad, duality, or a mistake from the level of consciousness that you are at in a particular moment in time. The ego is not able to see something in a particular moment, and so sometimes when you make what you consider might be in that moment a mistake, it might look bad, but in the interconnected, let's say, tapestry and unfolding of your life's journey and your soul's purpose and destiny, that so-called mistake might be the best thing to have happened to you, so long as you learn, grow, and evolve. There is no such thing as mistakes, folks. There's no such thing as mistakes. There's feedback. There's learning opportunities. Ultimately, if you really remember the purpose of life, you incarnate into this human experience to learn, grow, and evolve. Life is the classroom for your soul's evolution. If you really, really, really remember that life is the classroom for your soul's evolution. Life is university. Life is soul university. Every single experience, every single relationship, every single dynamic is the opportunity to grow, learn, and evolve. Then you start realizing that there's no such thing as mistakes. And if you were meant to do it perfectly, you probably wouldn't need to incarnate into this 3D human domain. You are here in this 3D human domain to experience experiences and to learn. To learn. We could say the only mistake is not what you do or what you don't do. The biggest mistake is to not learn and grow from the experience. You're going to screw up. You're going to, do things you wish you didn't do. That's part of being human. That's part of being alive. That's part of the human experience. What's important in any given situation, right? If you're wondering, what should I do? What should I not do? Oh my God, I'm analyzing the hell out of what decision to make. Stay focused on the learning. Stay focused on the evolution. If you stay focused on, okay, no matter what I decide, no matter what decision I make, there's going to be growth. I'm going to learn. And if you are able to focus on that in the moment of decision making, it can relax the fear inside that paralyzes you that you're going to make so-called wrong decision. You can learn. So long as you can learn, you can course correct. So long as you can learn, you can grow and evolve. Sometimes you have to take the supposed wrong turn to be able to appreciate being on the right path. Sometimes you have to go through the wrong relationships, even though there's no thing as wrong, right? To be able to learn about yourself, to be able to grow, heal, and evolve, so that you're more and more prepared and ready for the right relationship and the right person that shows up in the right moment of your life. But if you don't make the decision, if you don't jump into life, many of us, we're sitting on the sidelines of life waiting for the perfect moment. Folks, there is no perfect moment. There is no perfect time. And out of fear, we sometimes, wait on the sidelines of life for everything to line up, for the stars to line up, for the people to line up, for everything to be perfect. But that's not how life is. If we don't jump into life authentically from a sincere place and we end up living on the sidelines, that's not really, really, really living. But by standing on the sidelines, we don't learn, we don't grow, we don't learn the lessons, we don't evolve. And when we don't evolve, we don't unlock the let's say the key. We don't unlock the lock to the next level of our life. If we don't jump into life, we don't learn. If we don't learn, we stay the same. If we stay the same, we don't evolve. If we don't evolve, we're not able to graduate our current level of experience and learn what we need to learn to become more. When we become more, we are then able to attract the next level to us. So no matter what's going on, folks, no matter your situation, focus on the learning, focus on the growth, focus on the evolution. So there's no such thing as a mistake. There's only such a thing as not learning your lessons. Now, if you're in a moment of, oh my God, but could I have to make a decision right now? Here's one thing I want you to remember. Number one, if it doesn't flow, don't go. Let me repeat, if it doesn't flow, don't go. In the moment of making a decision, right? Feel the energy of life. It's like a surfer in the ocean, feeling for the wave. Yes, you can go against the wave, but when you go against the wave, life tends to be a struggle. Things tend to not flow. Things tend to be more difficult because you're not working with nature. You're not working with life. Life has a season. Life has a cycle. Life has a rhythm. And so in any moment of decision, feel deeper than your mind, feel deeper than what you want, feel deeper than what you think should be. Tune in to the energy. If you're really available to tune into the energy of where is life seeking to move? Where is life moving? Where are the doors opening? How you'll feel that is you'll feel pulled authentically in a direction. Maybe it's scary, maybe it's not what you think, but you'll feel pulled in a direction. You'll feel a deeper pull than your mind, than your ego, than your desire, than your want. There'll be a deeper pull. I call it a soul pull. Your soul is moving you in that direction. Rest assured, if you follow that pull and you keep following that pull, you're going in the direction of the deeper flow. So if it doesn't flow, don't go. When things flow, things open. When things flow, doesn't mean it's what you think it's going to be, but it will lead you. Following that deeper flow will lead you in the direction and on the journey that your soul needs to go on so that you can become who you need to become in your evolutionary learning trajectory. So if you don't feel it's flowing, like it doesn't open, every door seems closed, no matter how much you try, rescheduling, cancellations, rejection, and something doesn't feel like it's quite flowing, don't go. Instead, don't try to force. What we tend to do in those moments is we try to force. Rather than force, flow. So be still. In that moment, rather than pushing, be still. Tune in, check in, and just wait. Wait for a moment. Sometimes we're afraid to wait because the ego, we're afraid that if we're not doing it, it won't happen. You can force something to be, but just because you force it to be doesn't mean it's real, doesn't mean it's so, doesn't mean it's meant to be. So when you just take a moment and be still, then you can see, does it open up? Is there an invitation from life? If there's no invitation from life, then maybe life is seeking to redirect you somewhere else. Then you can tune in. So feel for the flow. Feel for the flow of life. Number two, in any moment of decision making, if you're not sure, should I, shouldn't I, ask yourself, feel deeper than your mind, the shoulds and shouldn'ts, rights and wrongs of your mind, and feel. Here's a good question that you can ask yourself. What is the decision? What is the decision that serves the highest growth and evolution of all people concerned? I don't know what to do. Should I leave? Should I stay? Should I break up? Should I not break up? Should I do this? Should I not do that? Should I speak up? Should I not speak up? When you really feel underneath all of that, beyond the mind, deeper than the mind, and ask yourself, what's the decision that serves the highest soul's growth and evolution for all concerned? That will move you to a more authentic decision. Now, that decision might be a difficult choice. That decision might be the harder choice for you. But if you can honestly say that decision in your heart you feel will serve, obviously there's no guaranteed way of knowing, but in your heart you feel it can serve the soul of your partner, of your friend, of all concerned the most, move in the direction of the decision that serves the soul's growth of those concerned in that process. I believe real love is to serve another soul's evolution and growth, even if it's difficult. So that's another thing you can tune into, feel into when you're wondering, what do I do? What do I not do? Okay. The last, number 3, another key to helping you make a decision in your life is ask yourself, if I do this or if I don't do this, if I don't make this decision, if I don't go here, if I don't travel there, if I don't experience that thing, if I don't say yes, will I regret it? Will I regret it? On my deathbed, will I regret not going to spend that month with my mother, with my father, with that person, with my boyfriend, girlfriend? Will I regret it? If I don't start that thing, will I regret it? And if you feel deeper into your heart, and in your heart you say, well, not really, then that tells you a lot. If in your heart on your deathbed you really genuinely feel, I would regret not having experienced that. I will have regret not having spent time with that person. I will have regretted not diving in and marrying that person. That will be a regret. Yes, maybe it's scary. Love can be scary sometimes, but I will regret not having given everything to that relationship. Then that can key you into the decision that you need to make. Sometimes decisions are scary, but fortune favors the bold. Let me repeat, fortune favors the bold. You and I as human beings, my friends, we were not born to simply live safe. We were not born to live in the cocoon. There comes a moment that the caterpillar crawling on the floor has to break out, has to decide, has to break free. A natural process of evolution has to break free so that it can break out of its shell, break out of its cocoon, break out of the old, what it knows, so that it can metamorphosize into a glorious, beautiful butterfly. You were not born to crawl on the floor. You were born to fly. What are the decisions that you need to make? What would you regret at the end of your life? What would you regret not doing? What would you regret doing? Should I go on this vacation? Should I do this? Would I really regret it? Not really. Then move on. Would I really regret this? Yes. Feel deeper. That doesn't mean you 100% do it, but feel deeper. Go deeper into feeling. Would I really regret this if I don't do this? Yes. Go do it. And then learn, grow, evolve, and see if the flow opens up. So folks, today's Soul Talk is short and sweet. If you're in a moment of making decisions, if you're in a moment of deciding, if you're in a moment of questioning, know that no matter what happens, you are loved by the universe. No matter what you decide, God, the universe, the divine, whatever you believe in, loves you completely unconditionally because you are a spark of the infinite itself. And so I hope today's session helped you. Would love to hear from you. Would love to hear how you're implementing the 3 powerful keys to authentic decision making in your life. As always, please share today's episode with everyone that you love, and definitely check out my new book, The Magic of Surrender. You can go to www.themagicofsurrender.com. Love now. If you've enjoyed this episode of Soul,
Mahogany Books is a local independent bookstore that believes in social entrepreneurship. Founded in 2007 to meet the literary needs of readers nationwide in search of books written for, by, or about people of the African diaspora. Mahogany Books proudly boasts of the deepest inventory of Black books online. And on this episode, we
Hey, go away. We're trying to record this podcast.
Hey, yo, it's your girl More, or Love, depending on the day, depending on how I feel, depending on how you feel. Call me what you want. Don't call me for friends.
You can just call me Cool Joe, because that's my name. But if you haven't heard, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Like, it's free.
Free 99.
Just download the app or go to anchor.fm to get it on your computer, and boom, podcast.
It'll go ahead and put it on Apple, Spotify, and a lot of other platforms.
And it's really dope. They got creation tools that allow you to record right from your phone or your computer. And you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
We like money, honey. Petty dots, petty dots.
Period. Dots. Poo. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. The Anchor app. All you gotta do is download the free app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Download the free Anchor app, which is ANCHOR, or go to ANCHOR.FM to get started.
That's it.
Everybody, thanks for tuning back in to Black and Spiritual AF Podcast. It's your girl, Love, or more. Call me what you want. Don't call me for fronts. We've missed you guys so much. Thank you so much for the outpouring of love and support that we've received on our little hiatus. We took a mini break. Just, sometimes you need to do that. Like, honestly, everybody needs to just step away from stuff sometimes just to get a bigger, clearer image of the bigger picture. So that's basically what we did. We've done some soul searching. We've done all that good stuff. And your responses have been amazing. Thank you. Thanks to everybody who's still listening. Thanks to everybody who's reached out to us. Thanks for everyone who still supported us, who's been participating in the groups and sharing our stuff and purchasing from our store. We've still been busy. We just took a quick step back from the podcasting just to get a better grasp on things. But we're good. We just want to let you guys know that we are 100% okay. Thank you guys for the prayers, the love sent, all of that, the energy, everything. But if you guys aren't following us yet, you probably should go ahead and follow us on our Facebook, Instagram. We're on Clubhouse as well. I'll make sure that those links are dropped in the bio. So just go ahead and in the episode description, go ahead and follow us there. Keep up with what we have going on. A lot of you have heard of our good news that we just shared with the internet a few weeks ago, and that had a lot to do with why we took a little break. So yeah. Thank you for sharing the love. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go ahead and hit us up on those social media platforms. All our business is there, honey. But thank you again. So on this episode today, basically we're just gonna go over some affirmations. This will be a quick mini, so I just wanted to go ahead and drop something real quick so y'all know that we're still here, we're still kicking. We'll finish our Chakra Rakas series soon, but here's some affirmations just to get us through. I know a lot of people have reached out to me. I'm just getting tied up in my words, y'all. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. I haven't spoken so long on the podcast, so I'm nervous all over again. But a lot of you guys have reached out to us asking for affirmations, like what affirmations can I say? I'm just having a hard time with affirmations. What can I do? Blah blah blah. So what I decided to do was just go over a quick set of some for attracting prosperity. I know that prosperity is something that we all try to get, and it's hard for some to get, but I got y'all. I got some affirmations to help with that. We'll tune in right after this break. So let's go over attracting and maintaining prosperity. So what we all need to understand is that prosperity is a state of mind in which one experiences happiness and peace within and about oneself. Some people have like money in their account, a few $1,000s, and consider themselves prosperous, while other people may have million dollars or millions of dollars and feel they have not achieved success at all. Like, we know these people that, like, some are like, I'm prosperous, I only got a few thousand, blah blah blah, and we got those, oh, I'm a millionaire, but I don't feel like I've achieved success at all. But prosperity is not only financial. You need to understand that it's not always about money. So money is one of the things, but prosperity is a state of mind. So it also includes love, health, and happiness. Experiencing one without the other is not true prosperity. So what I want to do is make sure that we all elevate to the next level of prosperity, right? So have what we need financially in addition to good health, love, happiness, all of that, all the good stuff. Because if we not like happy with love, in love, or whatever, we lacking. Like, once, just like the chakras, like if one is overworking, the other one's underworking, you know? So it's like, if we doing too much financially, we gonna start lacking in like our love life because we're too busy to focus on that, and so on and so forth. So we have to have the right mental attitude, right? So you want to know what the right mental attitude for attracting prosperity is. It is one of continual expectancy, a state of mind that's always open to new ideas, inspirations, and intuition flowing from the higher God mind within us, because we know God is within us, right? Prosperity is a state of mind that never accepts financial defeat. It's a state of mind that always knows that God, as the manifesting universe, is our only true source and supply and prosperity. It is a mind that finds peace in these truths, and through that peace, the mind is made clear with new inspiration, leading to greater prosperity, right? Prosperity is also a state of soul. When we meditate, we feel with the presence of like a higher God being. The inner state of oneness enforces the conscious state of mind and mental attitude as we go about the business of living. Knowing through meditation that God is truly within you as a central core of your being produces the greatest positive attitude of mind for achieving prosperity. You know that you have the intelligence and wisdom of the entire universe working with you and through you as you attract and maintain prosperity. If you don't know that,
for target location.
now you know. Like, now you know. So here's a quick like list of things you can do, right?
Rally point.
To having a mind that attracts prosperity. We're gonna go over that, and then we're gonna do some affirmations. It's gonna be a quick episode, so we'll do it pretty quick. Okay.
Assault rifle here.
So each day, declare within your mind that God is your true source of supply. God, the universe, the ancestors, whatever you have to call to seek, just declare it each day. Live, think, and act in ways that say you are already prosperous. So whatever your ideal of prosperous is, live it. Already live in that. Live in that moment every single day. Don't let a day pass by where you're living in lack. Do not allow yourself to be influenced by those around you who love to talk about how hard times are. You know, we all got that one friend who be like, girl, this happening, boy, this happening, blah, 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 blah. So only associate with those who have a positive attitude about prosperity and money. This is when your crew finna get shorter. So those people who are already naysayers, they always talk about money the root of evil and blah blah blah. Just stop paying. Like, hello, hey girl, how you doing? Okay, I'm good. I'm gonna call you right back. Whatever you gotta do. As soon as the conversation seems like it's going left, just exit out of it. Sometimes it's hard because a lot of us have grown to be comfortable in that. Sometimes you just gotta take a step back and be like, this is cool or whatever, but one day I just got to get out of it, right? Like, you can ask anybody who is actually prosperous, like, do they allow themselves to conversate and do that with people? Like, I don't allow it. I don't allow people to talk to me about how negative stuff is all the time. What I'm going to do is correct it, and then if you keep going back to it, you gonna get tired of talking to my ass, because guess what? I'm gonna keep correcting or we ain't gonna talk. Every time I talk to you, Greg, you always telling me the brighter side of shit. Like, don't nobody want to hear that. Don't nobody want to hear that negative shit. Like, for real. Like, let's fix it, because we know our words are spells, and there's so much power in your words. So if you're thinking negative and all of that, it's gonna be hard for you to keep a positive outlook, or literally speaking of negativity into your life. Even by just listening to somebody else's and not correcting them, letting them know it will get better. When they be like, but I don't know, like, you can feel sorry for yourself on your own time, but when you with me, baby, we talking positive. We about to set it off, So being spiritual, which we all are, because everybody who listens to my podcast is spiritual AF. Most of y'all are black and spiritual AF. So being spiritual is having money. Period. It affirms that God, the universe, our ancestors come through, baby, provides. You have to remind yourself of this if you have been, like, influenced by the old, you going to hell, them religions and shit like that. So, like, the ones that be like, oh, you gonna go to hell if you get all this money and blah, 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 blah. Having money is a sin. It's a lot of religions like that. Like, what? I'm supposed to live in lack and suffer? Like, what the fuck? No, I don't want to do that. So, get it positive. Being spiritual is having money. Think about it. Being spiritual is having money. Go to places in a city where there is affluence. Pick up on those psychic vibrations. Let your being be permeated with prosperity vibrations. So,
You did the work of a nation.
go to the bank. Hang out around there.
That's the last
That might
of
be
those
kind of
fuckers.
weird. Go to, like, these really expensive stores. The really expensive car dealerships. Pick up on having, and the super expensive restaurants where the meals are $100 and up a plate. Go there. Even if you don't have it at the moment you pay for it, go sit down, look at the menu, have a drink at the bar or something. Go to the bar and whatever. Like, just be in the essence of it. Go around people who have money. Try to spend, like, your time with them. Go into, even if you go to, like, a clothing store and you can't afford it, like, try that shit on. Take pictures, take selfies, do that. Feel how it feels to wear more expensive clothing and stuff like that. Even if you don't have the money to buy it at the moment, do that. Try it on. Because if you look in window shopping, you're like, I'm not going to try it on because I can't buy it now. I can't afford it. You won't be able to afford it. You won't be able to purchase it because you are attracting it away from you. Like, you're letting the universe know that you're not worth it. You don't need it. You don't want it. Stuff like that. Don't accept negative thoughts in your mind that you say are lacking. Reject it immediately. Affirm that you're prosperous already and that God, the universe, your ancestors, your source is supplying everything you need already. When you do your meditations, your manifestations, your prayers, all of that, do not ask for money. Instead, when you pray, confirm that your higher God, the ancestors, the universe, that you like, just let it be known that you already have what you need, and that you're in the process. Your higher being, your God mind, the universe, the ancestors are already in the process of prospering you. You know, give thanks, gratitude. Meditate every day. Go deep into your mind to a center where the presence of God exists. Keep that inner mental channel of intuition and inspiration open, guiding you to claim that prosperity is already yours. You know, through your source, whether it be God, the ancestors, the universe, you know, whatever it is. Keep all the channels open in your mind as to how prosperity may reach you. Don't be like, this. Be like, I'm open to prosperity reaching me in all ways. If you need something, it might not come to you only through having the money to purchase it. Sometimes somebody might give it to you as a gift. Sometimes somebody like, hey, you got this? I'll give you this if you give me that. You know, as a trade. So we know that God helps those who help themselves, the universe, the ancestors, all of it. That's such a true statement. Like, keep active. Don't sit around waiting for good to materialize in your living room. It may be like literally as soon as you walk out the door, waiting for you. Keep active. You stand a better chance of being in the right position at the right time to receive it if you just, you know, stay active. Program your mind every day with prosperity thought affirmations. We'll go over some in a minute. Build a strong prosperity foundation in your subconscious mind. When going through your bills, maintain a mental attitude that God working through you will take care of the payment. God, the universe, the ancestors, your higher God man, whatever you call to, you know, when you praying and affirming, just know that that payment will get taken care of. It's not a bill that I worry about because I know that, guess what? It'll be taken care of. So, if you want to program your subconscious mind for prosperity, you have to go into a subconscious level of meditation and give yourself these thought affirmations. Repeat each one to yourself at least 3 times a day. Select one each day that particularly appeals to you. You can pick one of mine, you can make one of yourself. Write it down on a small piece of paper, on an index card, type it into your cell phone, computer organizer, your laptop, whatever. Make it a Facebook post, I don't care. Like, whatever you have to do to make sure it's being seen, like, you know. And everybody knows it's power in writing as well. So writing, typing, all of that. Take it with you during your daily activities so that you may read it a few times a day. Each time you do, you further influencing your mind towards a mental attitude that attracts prosperity, both physically and spiritually. So here go a few. I got 7. I live confidently each day, knowing that the source of my prosperity is God or the universe or the ancestors or whoever you call to, working through me and directing me.
We're losing this fight.
I am at peace and poised every day in the calm self-assurance that the power of God and the universe prosper me. I affirm that in the presence of God, I am already prosperous and that the prosperity is beginning to materialize around me. All channels of my mind are open so that I may receive intuitive directions from the God of my being as to where to lay claim to that which brings me prosperity. I radiate out auric vibrations of prosperity and well-being whenever I may each day. I telepathically project thoughts into the psychic atmosphere that I am already a prosperous person. Each day, I share the wealth of God's abundance around me. And those are a few affirmations you could repeat, you know, 3 times a day, at least one of them. Write one down every day, blah, blah, blah. We know that it's debatable. 2 to 3 weeks to form a habit. I say 2 weeks because it's power in your words, and it takes me 14 days to form a habit on anything. Give me 14 days, that habit becomes a part of my life. So give it 14 days. And of writing these, writing them, saying them, living them, and knowing that prosperity will happen. Watch how your life change. Like, pal, like, watch. It's gonna be amazing. And
Securing Charlie. Pull it together. We can still take this.
repeat. Listen to this episode as much as you need to. Go over it. See what you took from it, whatever. I'm open to feedback. Like, if you wanted me to go over anything in particular, go ahead and hit us up on any form of social media, on the website, the contact us feature, or email us, whatever you have to do. We're here. So I just want to go ahead and end it with this quick prayer. So my mind is part of the infinite mind of God, which contains the entire universe within itself. I therefore think of myself as a prosperous person. As I do, thoughts travel into my mind of God. My thoughts traveling in the mind of God open channels through whatever I need flows to me. My mind, therefore, is like a magnetic force drawing prosperity to me. I declare before the God of my being that God is my only true source of prosperity. I speak now to the God of my being. God, what I have need of, even before I ask. You're the ruling power of the universe. I accept you as a ruling power over all of my financial affairs. Lead me, direct me, for I am open to receive prosperity into life. And please touch and help anyone who is listening to this and allow them to live prosperous lives as well. For this, I give thanks.
Enemy took B.
I let it be. And it is. Ashe.
Securing Bravo. C locked down. Losing C.
Recording the podcast is hard.
Hey family, it's Mystic, the Mystic Healer. If you've ever thought about starting a podcast and wanting to get your voice out into the world and to share your messages, your perspectives on how you think we should boop bop, boopy womp jump pop, then I really encourage you to use Anchor. Anchor is a phenomenal way for you to capture your voice so easily at the touch of your hands and to share your messages with everybody quickly. So use Anchor. Hey family, it's Mystic, and I am here today to share some consciousness and some wisdom and some beauty with you all today that I hope enhances your life and it blesses you in ways that you will be in awe of. As many of you know, I have been on a break because I'm being called to stop running from myself, running from parts of myself that need deep attention and work. And in order for me to do that, I've had to step away from anything that's pulling me too much away from myself. And so I don't know when I'll fully return, when I will fully return, but I had the urgency to share this today. I felt like it was important for me to really share what I'm about to share with you all. And so without further ado, I just want to jump into this story and then the lesson that will enhance the story. So first things first, yesterday I went to get a massage and it was great. It was so good. And so I left the massage place, and after I left the massage place, I came to a stoplight and drove down just a tad bit past the stoplight where I ran into the most gentle and beautiful thing that I have seen in a very long time. And what I saw was in the intersection, kind of like in the middle part of the street, was a duck family crossing the street. It was a big duck two big ducks, one in the front with baby ducks in the middle, and then a big duck behind the baby ducks. And they were guiding these ducks, the little baby ducks, across the street. And y'all, when I tell you, it touched my heart so much that I just burst out into tears. I started crying, and I didn't know why. I really thought I was having a nervous breakdown for a half of a second, because I was like, never experienced that before, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong, and why am I crying? I was on my way to the mall. I was going to Bath and Body Works because I wanted to get a candle. And from the time that I saw the ducks to the drive to the mall was about a 10-minute drive, and I cried the entire time, including in the parking lot before I got out of the car. So it was a very emotional experience for me. And in reflection, I realized that I was so touched and moved by that, because what I had witnessed was a joy and a divinity that money cannot buy. You know what I mean? I mean, of course, there's something to be said about the fact that if I didn't have the money to go get a massage, I probably wouldn't have saw that. But I didn't personally pay the ducks to be at that time, you know, to be at that street at that time. You know, it's just some shit that is so serendipitous and so cosmic and so ancestral that, you know, it's just some shit you just can't pay for. And the ducks really taught me yesterday the value of the wealth and the abundance and the prosperity that exists just already here on earth, that you just have to open your eyes for. You don't have to do any labor. You don't have to go get a degree. You don't have to interview for it. You don't have to prove anything. You just gotta open your eyes, and the universe is so ready to show us love. And I saw love yesterday, and I felt it at such a deeply immense level that it rocked me. And so I'm getting emotional just thinking about it now, because it was truly beautiful. It was. And that brings me to my next message, which is I wanted to talk about this message I saw trending on Instagram yesterday from the game, who basically was like, he's an old school man. He feels like he shouldn't, a woman shouldn't have to pay no bills if she's with him. And there were a lot of black women who were sharing this message in agreement. And for those of you who have followed me, I've been very vocal about the importance of black women, you know, being with men who can provide for them. And part of where that was coming from for me was growing up in Oakland, being immersed and being around pimp culture that basically said it was all on a bitch. And just kind of watching black women be exploited, whether that was like, you know, explicitly or implicitly in relationships where they were emptying themselves just to get a fraction of what they truly really wanted or, you know, deserved, you know. And I have participated in that in small ways in my younger days, and as I got older, I was like, fuck that shit, I ain't doing that. And I got to a place where that was no longer. And I adopted this mentality that it was all on the nigga, right? And while my sentiments haven't shifted around, like, it's nothing wrong if black women want to be with black men who provide, I've changed the way in which I've had that conversation and the way in which I've approached it. And I think the first thing, and I'm only going to really focus on this point for the sake of time, because I don't want to make this into like a 20-minute video or audio, but I think it's important that if black women are going to focus, or if black women are going to make it imperative that black men have financial obligations to us, I also think it's important that we investigate how we go about doing that. And the first thing is because I'm starting to see how detrimental it can be when we minimize black men to only what they can provide for us financially. Because I believe that partners, including black men, have so much more to provide and to give, but they will not be able to if they exist in a world that only sees them as corporations and entities of you know, financial surplus. And it's important that we remind each other as black people, especially coming from our history, of being corporations, essentially, of being property. It's important that we, remind each other that we have so much more value than how much money we can make and then give to somebody. And I am concerned with, if we live too much in that kind of mentality, then we will hinder the kind of love that
Take the objectives.
Hey family, it's Mystic, the Mystic Healer. If you've ever thought about starting a podcast and wanting to get your voice out into the world and to share your messages, your perspectives on how you think we should move out, wump, jump, pop, then I really encourage you to use Anchor. Anchor is a phenomenal way for you to capture your voice so easily at the touch of your hands and to share your messages with everybody quickly. So use Anchor. I understand we live in a physical reality where finances are important, but we also have to remember that we are spiritual beings who too are having a human experience, which means that there's a balance that has to be practiced when we approach this physical reality. And there are so many ways to be wealthy other than what a man has in his bank account. If all a man can provide to you is the bills he can pay for you, and if that's what you want, that's fine. I'm not here to shift people's minds. But for Black women who at the deep parts of their heart know that they desire to be in relationships where they feel safe and secure, where they have the freedom to create, where they have the freedom to be sexual, to explore, where they have the freedom to exercise their willpower and their confidence, where they have the freedom to be compassionate, to have compassion given to them, to love, to forgive, where they have the freedom to speak freely, respectfully, and to have their partners do the same, where they have the freedom to exercise their intuitive nature, their feminine nature, and where they have the freedom to embody the consciousness of God and the Most High. For those of you who desire, truly, if that's what we want, I think we have to have a balanced conversation to a man's ability to financially provide. Many of us who have been in relationships and have dated, whether that's minimally or, married or whatever, know that sometimes brothers who are in a position where they're so financially wealthy like that, and I'm not talking about giving you $40 and paying a little bill. I'm talking about brothers who can bring generational wealth to their families. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they may not be as emotionally available because they're working, they're busy, right? And so these are things that we have to think about. Are you a woman who maybe needs more emotional investment from a man? And if so, then why are you so focused on making this financial standard in your life when you are a woman who may need more of a man who can emotionally invest in you, or you may need a balance between the two? I don't know. I don't know what people need. I think that that's the problem with this sort of influx of relationship gurus, is that though there are some physical, real sort of collective things that we need to understand when it comes to relationships, but truly only your highest self, or somebody who's doing like some kind of spiritual divination with you will know what you really need in a relationship, right? I can't tell you what you need, but what I do know is that just on a real practical level, is that there is a love that we need as Black women that we have not been able to get inside of this system of colonialism. There is a love that Black men can provide that they have not been able to provide in this system of colonialism and colonization. And I think it's important that we decolonize the roles that we place every member of our community as Black people in, and not allow ourselves and each other to be minimized to those roles. because we have a capacity that is so grand, you know. And I'm even just thinking about the ducks walking across the street, you know, and thinking about even the baby ducks had, and I don't know if it was a father and a mother or two mothers, I don't know what the, you know, gender or whatever, but it just was so beautiful to see that these baby ducks were being protected and cared for and provided for. And I think about how so many of us as Black children may have missed that in our lives. And I think for those of us that, you know, are wanting to do something different and to build different family dynamics, you know, because there's a plethora of ways to introduce generational wealth to our families. Finances is one of them, but changes in behavior and ritual and how we do things is another. And I think if we want to shift the way that we do family and shift the way that we connect, right? I think we have to begin to think about, if we want families, if we want children, what legacies, you know, do we want to leave? How do we want our children, or even if they're not our own children, just people in general, how do we want them to talk about the way that we love each other? And again, this is not to minimize the importance of finances, but rather to stress that we are deserving of more. And I just want us to really think critically about the messages that we uplift and to whom those messages that we uplift are coming from. I'm not judging the game, or, you know, I don't know that man, but I don't know him to be anybody that has been able to really do the shadow work that he needs to understand why he's having the conflicts that he's had publicly in his relationships. And so again, is that somebody that we want to, are we suggesting as Black women that we want a man like the game as long as he can pay bills for you? If that's what you want, that's cool. I ain't gonna change your mind, but again, not to be redundant, but just to be clear, if Black women desire a love that's deeper, powerful, stronger, we have to begin to think about the ways in which we can gain and give so much more. And it really starts with the love that we practice with ourselves. Because when we understand that we are not property, or we are not here for consumption or labor, when we understand that our lives are not just about work, right? As Black women, and we have the opportunity to love ourselves, to heal ourselves, then we then too will start to have that as an ethic in our lives from the partners that we have, regardless of the gender. But if we devote our lives so much to labor, I think as Black women, unfortunately, we're exhausted with labor because of our history as being property. We're tired of working, and so many of us are looking to Black men to rescue us from the exploitation that we are experiencing here in the Americas. And I don't know that it's Black men's job to rescue Black women from that, from a problem that whiteness created. I don't know, that's up for debate. But I'm gonna say this. We have so much more to provide each other with. I believe that, even though I haven't experienced it at the level that I want to, I so believe in my heart that we do. But we have to set it as an expectation for our life. So I just want to end there and wish you all a renewal and a restoration, and may your eyes be made clearer to be able to see the wealthiness.
Losing Bravo. Taking C. Enemy counter spy plane inbound. Enemy top B. C locked down. Enemy spy plane inbound. Losing Charlie. We lost Charlie. Spy plane inbound. Securing Bravo. Your SAM turret has been destroyed. advantage. Bravo. We're pulling ahead. Enemy has Bravo. Securing Bravo. We're falling behind. Be locked down. Losing A. We've taken the lead. Net call. Hostile air patrol detected. Security C. Hostile air package inbound. C secure. Losing Bravo. Hostile sentry turret active. We lost B. Taking B. Securing A. Losing Charlie. We're losing this fight. Keep your heads in the game if you want to win. Bravo, secure. Hostile spy plane established overhead. Multiple hostile spy planes detected. A lockdown. Mission terminated. All squads retreat.
This isn't how it was supposed to go down.